Good day, race fans of the future, and welcome to the Intentional Wreck Podcast. Podcast made by race fans for race fans, from the casuals to the lifelong gearheads. My name is Jeff. I'm here with my fellows Corey and Finn. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify under the name Intentional Wreck, as well as your favorite other audio platforms. You can also find us on our website, intwreckpod.com, and you can find us on our Discord server, where we run a NASCAR 25 league on Xbox, where we are always accepting new members and always down to talk racing or whatever you'd like if you decide to join there. That being the case, like I mentioned to all of you from the future, because you will be listening to this on Tuesday while we are here on Sunday, directly after the race, directly after Denny Hamlin's 63rd win, a week after Denny Hamlin's 62nd win, about 20 minutes after Denny did a fantastic, amazing tribute to Kyle Busch on a great burnout after he won. And
did he bow? I meant to look, but I
He
missed
did
it.
not bow, but that's okay. He bowed last week.
Yeah, he bowed
Okay,
last
all
week.
right,
This
all
week
right.
he put the flag out the window and did the whole burnout with the
I
flag.
watched
never
it. I
moved
just didn't
down.
recall if he hit the bow or not.
Yeah, bow was last week. But either way, all that being said, how are you fellas feeling? We got a lot to pack in here in our retroactive episode of the Intentional Wreck Podcast. I don't think we've actually done this yet. I think this is the first time.
Since
I've had a little bit of a busy
season
time.
since season 1,
Yeah,
when
this would have been the first time back when we were doing pre-recorded episodes.
when
Yeah,
we had to go edit everything.
When every single one was pre-recorded back then.
Yeah.
Remember the lost episode? I think.
Oh yeah, I think we had at least one or two lost episodes in our
Right.
catalog.
They were for us only.
We're pros
Yeah.
now.
VIPs.
We don't
VIP only.
We don't say slurs anymore, so we're good. That I don't know.
Yeah, Finn said
Some of us never did.
Finn doesn't insert slurs into the middle of the podcast.
Insert. I had to remove, man. Every time Denny wrecked, man, you had another slur. Just
okay.
out, man.
Well, he never wrecked, so we're all good.
I kid. I really think we're in a good spot, man. And I know it's like, oh, it's prime season, so of course NASCAR is good, but we're coming off 3 really, really solid races. I know the 600 win resulted in kind of a rain out, but it's just kind of been just pure NASCAR to kick off the summer. And some really good racing. And then our counterparts in the Indy 500, as we talked about on the last pod, a banger. There's, should have a banger tonight. If you're watching this, I hope you got to see a banger. We are between the NASCAR race and the Indy race, where we're recording this right now.
I told these guys I wanted to make sure we were done, so I didn't miss any of Gateway. Because whenever Indy goes to Gateway,
8:30?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay.
For better or for worse, whenever IndyCar runs Gateway, it is well worth watching, whether it's just for the pure chaos or amazing racing.
I'll put it on. It will be the second best thing on TV tonight. The best thing on TV tonight will be Love Island. So make sure you guys are watching Love Island. Fellas,
Corey and I both did the exact same.
Brother, I would rather remove my fingernails with needle nose pliers than watch Love Island.
Dude, there's nothing.
We're watching the finals and watching IndyCar.
There is nothing that makes that secures my marriage and makes me and my wife grow closer together than watching those shitheads on Love Island try to communicate with each other. It really it teaches us lessons. So I'm really, it's therapy more than it is shitty reality TV.
Hey, I love that.
Isn't that the
I'll
one
tell you
where
this: I'll be sitting here at my desk playing a game or working or something, and God bless my wife, she loves the Bravo, and it's just like all I hear. It's just like, this is just people arguing. Like, that's what this is. I'm not watching it. I'm sure they're all attractive, and they just argue. Like, that's the whole bit, is they're just attractive people arguing. And it's
Isn't Love Island the one where they put couples in situations where they'll put one person away from their partner and intentionally put them with somebody that is
there's a piece of, so the general concept of Love Island is all these people don't know each other. Right, so but it's not like a couple that enters the show together. Like, these people don't know each other.
Intentional Wreck Love Island.
They show up and they're trying to find love and connections and explore these connections. And within the first episode, it's 5 guys, 5 girls. They meet, they get what's called coupled up, and that's your chance to explore. It's like they all know coming into this show that they're going to meet different people, they're going to talk to different people, they're going to start some connections, but the whole goal is to meet other people. The first night, these girls are crying because the dude they got matched with might want to go talk to another girl, and it is just hilarious. It just goes south as quick as it can. Which I didn't have Love Island last night, so my alternative was watching whatever the fuck happened in that Golden Knights Hurricanes game, and I was up till very, very late watching this game because I was invested in it.
Congratulations, you
Finn
found
was watching
quality
hockey.
television.
Look at that.
Right? Yeah.
So the last text, my brother is really big in the hockey, and he's a Canes fan. And the last text I got from him last night, we were texting during the game. He said, "We're gonna win tonight. We're gonna win in overtime. They suck in overtime. They've lost 17 of 19 overtime games, or they've lost in overtime 17 times, not including playoffs." And then
That aged well.
he did not text me. He's not texted me since. So
It did not age well.
Yeah, don't do that.
I give them all the credit in the world for coming back from 4-0. Like, that was great because it looked like they were completely dead in the water. But my God, like,
right,
for it to end the way that it did, and for one of those goals to be an own goal, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So.
And you know, by the time this airs, another game's gonna have already gone down. So like everything's in the past. But I will say this: between Love Island, between the NHL finals, between the NBA finals, NASCAR is finding a way to stay relevant.
Yep,
it's really good to kick off this string of races. You know, we kind of had a little bit of a dud, I would say, some rougher races. I think a bit ago, I think Watkins Glen is probably the real turn of the page for me in terms of, okay, now we're back to racing. It's not, you know, I'm trying to think back to like what some of the, Martinsville really wasn't all that good of a race.
No, there were some duds in like April,
Texas,
March.
yeah.
It was a little bit of a slog trying to get through like some less than stellar. The All-Star race was atrocious.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
I think like Talladega was pretty solid, but it was Dega. I think Kansas.
Dega was just good because of the outcome.
Maybe it wasn't big of a slog. Kansas didn't like perform at like elite Kansas levels, so I think that was another thing.
Kansas got completely shown up by Nashville, which we haven't talked about, but Nashville was a banger of a race.
Well, I mean, you got Denny who goes shotgun. You know, they're laughing about it last week. Then he does it again this week. Nashville.
That is crazy, dude.
Nashville was really, really fun. I think a little restart heavy.
Nashville is low key becoming one of my favorite tracks.
But
I dig the 1.3 mile thing. Like it's just kind of flat.
It's because of
just the right length.
I will say this: that would have been a snoozer race at the old horsepower package, but because they got to do 750, I thought you had tire wear, you had SVG out here getting a top 5 in equipment that we saw today heavily struggled, right? And you know, we haven't had a chance to like digest that. You know, obviously Denny coming back through the field
2 weeks in a row.
Well, yeah, but focusing in on like Nashville.
Oh yeah,
and kind of, you know, just a fantastic battle between those 3 Toyotas. You know, anytime you get Briscoe, Bell, and Hamlin in an area, right, they're putting on a show, and it certainly was.
What did Denny ever talk about what he was smoking on that start of the race? Why did he jump that start so bad?
I think one of the things we have to remember
that was the worst jump start I've ever seen.
It was the worst as far as what's gotten seen. There's not for the sake of being accountability, there's not a single like person like I'm not going to go and be the person that doesn't say Denny doesn't jump starts. Like that would be silly. I've been watching him way too long to know that that's not a thing he did. This was just the most obvious, but
this was like
there was an impetus.
Didn't know where the line was. Like it was like.
But there was a discussion before the race that went before that.
Well, a couple things.
Okay.
One, I think that Denny mentioned on his pod that there's a delay to when you stomp on the throttle and when the car visually goes on TV, right? So in his brain, he was getting to the throttle early, and then the cameras would see that he launched and that he would be at the line. So I think he was trying to go early, but mistimed on where the line was or how fast the car would launch. That makes a little bit of sense considering the higher horsepower package, maybe. Like it really, like, the car went. The second, and I think he didn't speak on this, but this is something to very much consider. This was the first race. They finally had a chance to I wouldn't say decompress, but to really sink in on Kyle Busch's death. Right? Charlotte was already a fast-moving Memorial Day weekend, yada yada, driver signings, all these moving parts. Then Kyle dies on Thursday. We're racing on Sunday, and Denny wasn't on the pole. I could see a scenario where it's just like everybody's just grief. I mean, these guys are going through real grief. I know they're doing good job. So what I mean, it's just like
I get all
the
that,
detail. A
but, like,
detail can be missed as simple as like not like forgetting that there's a restart zone. And that the green flag doesn't go on the leader. You know what I mean? Right? Like, it could have been as simple as a phrase going like, because I don't know if you know, Corey, there wasn't like restart zones wasn't always a thing. It used to just be like
Well, sure,
like the leader
but, like,
goes, right?
and
Like,
I'd be a little more like, all right, that makes perfect sense if we were talking about like Zane Smith, or
right.
like
Yeah.
John Hunter Nemechek. Denny's got like 750 starts.
Yeah. No.
He's as veteran as a veteran can possibly be.
Yeah.
And all what you're saying makes sense, right? Like, I'm not arguing with you, but it's still kind of just like, I remember watching that and be like, what was he doing?
Right. I will say this though. Nashville was really, really solid. Great battle there. Again, really fun to see SVG, like the momentum, and see him kind of up there in points. Today, though, was a different beast. I did not think Hamlin had the car. He struggled to get through the field. He kind of was getting up through it, but like in the same lane, like, I look up and saw Hamlin was 10th. In the same vein, I looked up and saw Alex Bowman was 11th. And I was like, well, Alex doesn't have a good car. And all of the cars that I was watching in car throughout the day had been passing Hamlin consistently. Early in the run, late in the run. The 11 wasn't this factor, if that makes sense. So... very interesting to see that when he got the lead, that might be. There's been 2 times in recent memory that I've seen a leader check out like that. And, SVG at Mexico City, Tyler Reddick at Darlington, right?
Yeah.
But both of those guys were the dominant car all day, so nobody was surprised. To see that Denny not only got the lead on the restart, but, again, you think about who were the big players today. The 45 and the 54 were bad fast, right?
Yeah.
Bubba was quick for about 2 laps and then fell off pretty much consistent on every run, right? Hocevar was a little quick. Was there anybody else that was kind of Elliott, right?
Elliott until he absolutely tombstoned Christopher Bell.
Right. And Bell was another guy. So those guys were quick, but with how fast Denny was moving, if those 4 cars were still in the race at that point, I still think he's 10 seconds ahead of the field. That was I don't know where that came from. I don't think I've ever seen a car get that much better. Because there's clean air, and then there's whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, well,
the things that this team is doing with this 750 horsepower package, the things that they're doing with this car.
Yep.
That, like, just in general, like, they figured something out, and it's not just like, like, his qualifying speed has been great too, because you figure like he's qualifying on pole as well. Right. This is a matter of him. They have found a way to dial that car in for like just general speed to like get where it needs to go. But the thing that's beautiful about it, it's the end of the run speed. It's the later part of the run speed. He can get a jump on a start. Okay, fine. But Finn, it's to your point in the beginning of this race. He was running 30th for the first, 5 to 10 laps. He didn't even really I don't think he made it up above 25 before we hit any real like substantial where the cautions really started getting going. What they've done to figure out how to adjust that car over the course of the race so that by the time he's 5, 7, 10 laps into a run, that he just turns into a rocket ship. I feel like everybody that runs that field would love to know what the hell is going on in that garage, because they found it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, back-to-back poles, back-to-back wins, back-to-back going to the rear at the start of the race and driving back through the field.
Like he's doing it for fun.
I do hate, not to take away from it, but the caveat in Nashville, I really did hate that competition caution. Felt like that was useless and really kind of help Denny get back in the game, but I don't think that takes away from the experience. But let's think about this. We're going to Pocono next week, and Denny qualified pole at Pocono last year and finished second.
And Denny runs Pocono.
He is Mr.
better
Pocono.
than anybody
as far
else.
as I'm concerned,
that is his track.
right? Like as far as like growing up through the 2000s, Jimmy had a stint, but when we went to Pocono, it was the FedEx car. That's kind of how I've always been remembered. And we're back-to-back weeks of Toyotas finishing sweeping the top 3 podium positions. Larson and Elliott seem to have some kind of speed, but not much. It really is just going to be, can Briscoe have a similar day to last year? Because right now it really feels like he could do it again.
This is where the 19 actually pulled their heads out of their asses last year. Was starting at Pocono.
Right. And well, that was that streak of poles, right, where they just kind of figured out Saturday. So Denny, I mean, it really gets to the point where like I could see him like he could do it again next week. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Catch Reddick.
He could flip the lead next week.
He's gonna catch him. Like there's no like I would say it's a foregone conclusion at this point.
Well, at this point he's 51 points behind. And I think that is safe, but there's a couple things. One, we're going to 2 tracks. 2 of the next 3 tracks, Tyler Reddick is better than Denny Hamlin at. Lately, not across his career, because Denny's pretty good at Sonoma. But we're going to Coronado and we're going to Sonoma, and I think we're all willing to accept that the Denny Hamlin dominance will stop at those 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
sure. Right? We know it's a Shane summer coming up here soon. However, this is Tyler's chance to go back in and kind of reestablish that, because he has had a couple of rough weeks, but I think today was his first true DNF. So Denny is definitely the hotter driver. You guys made a great call when we were doing power rankings a couple episodes ago. Denny is clearly the top car in the field. But I do think Tyler is a little bit safe. He's doing really good at stages, which have made up for some of those maybe lackluster. And then again, remember he got wrecked at Nashville, but he still finished 7th, right?
He got a stage win today before getting DNF'd.
Right. So I'm not ready to say. I will say this: those 2 are my clear far out championship contenders, right?
Yeah.
Larson does not look like Larson, right? Elliott has got 2 wins, but in fact, like I said, we're going kind of back to power rankings here. Ty Gibbs is the next car, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
Ty Gibbs is the next car, right?
That's insane to fit. Like it feels weird to say, but yeah.
Dude, at Charlotte, he was a bad fast running down he ran down Reddick in stage 1. He was a bad fast. And then even today, he ran down Reddick and passed Reddick, I think for or no, I don't think he got the pass, but he was close to passing Reddick for stage 1. So
dark horse Hocevar.
Hocevar is, I mean, obviously
he's dude, the Spire cars are as fast as any Chevys right
dude,
now.
Right? Daniel having a great day.
Yes.
This is Daniel Suarez's best season in years. This has the potential to be Daniel Suarez's best season.
He led laps today.
That's what I'm saying. Like this year has potential to be Daniel Suarez's best season in the better part of a decade.
I think the pressure's off.
Yeah.
And we're obviously seeing that Trackhouse has taken a step back. I was listening
Spire's good. Spire's very good. Michael McDowell wins Watkins Glen if there's no SVG.
Right.
Hocevar won at Talladega.
Suarez
win
today.
A crown jewel at the 600. Spire's good.
Right.
Does Spire have more wins this year than Hendrick? Or
they are tied.
The same? That's crazy.
They are. Hocevar has 1. Suarez has 1.
Yeah.
Chase has 2. Yes, they're tied with Hendrick right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is, and I don't know what the Alliance. I think they might have Hendrick engines, or I think Spire has a Hendrick Alliance to it. Anybody that's getting the ECR engines, I think that's Trackhouse, and
Spire's headquarters is on Hendrick Motorsports property.
Yeah. So they're definitely, and again, Larson's probably the only other Chevy, maybe Elliott, that looks as good as Hocevar right now. But they've got something figured out. Because they were quick at Texas. They qualified the front row together. Obviously, pretty solid at Charlotte. And then today at Michigan. This is the track where like either you have power or you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Trackhouse showed you that they are a tracks. It will be select weeks that they show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, granted, we've got. I think I'm happy for Shane because yes, he just had a really bad day after his top 5, rolled around at 33rd all day, and then I think got wrecked out. But they get to reestablish momentum here very soon. Possibly get 2 wins under the books. So that's
Well, he's the odds-on clear favorite to win both of those races.
yeah. So that's
Coronado 100% for sure.
Yeah, that's really going to be exciting. So let's talk about the wrecks. You mentioned, who was it that mentioned 70 or the 9 and the 20?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was a big one.
That was bad.
Really
the
nice.
45 getting totaled.
Yeah,
that
really,
was another one.
It was really nice to see Chase and Bell kind of talking to each other after that.
Yeah.
Kind of obviously it wasn't anybody's fault. 9 got loose. Well, it was the 9's fault, but it wasn't like they intentionally did anything.
No. Yeah, like, and credit where credit's due. When you screw up that bad, you just get out and say, "I screwed up that bad." There's no hiding it, dude. You're on national TV.
That was a "Are you okay?"
He blew it, and he knew it.
Yeah, that was more of a "Are you okay?" and it looked like they took it
Right.
well. And the 20 is
It's gonna happen. They're going 200 miles an hour. Happens sometimes.
I'll tie one of these wrecks back to the point we were just talking about. Connor Zilic is not helping Trackhouse as bad as Trackhouse has been. Connor Zilic has been he's been an anchor in all of the worst ways so far for that team. Now, granted, you should not have your expectations of Zilic should not be him to lead this team. You should not have him, being like the top driver for this team by any stretch. But dude, you got to finish a race. I mean, my God.
So here's what I'm seeing. I was Cletus McFarland did double duty. He did ARCA and then he did the trucks. And it'll come back to Connor here in a second. But in a interview this week, Cletus was talking about how when he gets the truck was getting sideways, and he learned today, or that during the race, so yesterday, that that's just how the wing of the truck is designed, that the truck gets sideways and that's how you drive it. And when he was at Daytona and he felt that same feeling, he freaked out and tried to fix that. And that led to him wrecking and spinning at Daytona. He said now he's realizing the truck that that's just the way the wind works. You just need to trust it. And then I look at Connor. Michigan is not an easy track. You know what I mean? Josh Berry spun out in practice. You get like Junior called it before, like he started like getting up out of the groove and Junior goes, he's going to spin. And then he spun. Why? Because Junior knows at 200 miles an hour and how these cars are carved out, the wind matters so much. Cindric almost spun out earlier or at the end of this race.
Almost screwed Denny.
We had a scenario where Hocevar got out of the groove and almost spun out. So what I think this was a rookie getting schooled a little bit. A rookie who had a loose, ill-handling race car, and then is Connor Zilic, so he's here to push it and try. And I think he just got schooled by the track today. The other shit was it's shit out of his, like Charlotte. There wasn't. I mean, that was a little bit of a rookie mistake of track of accident avoidance, but not really much he could do. A car was coming back down the track. Nashville was a failure of the rotor. Like those aren't Connor Zilic's fault. This was the first like wreck in a bit that's just been like, hey man, rookie got. You know what I mean?
Well, and just call a spade a spade. He's on that team to be the second best road course ringer on that team.
Right.
The other stuff will come, but Trackhouse is a road course team.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Correct.
They're a road course team with Ross Chastain to go and steal an oval every now and then.
Yeah, to go win Gateway or Kansas or Phoenix.
But that raises the question though, because like to me, I don't think that was Marx's original plan on what they wanted Trackhouse Racing to be. If you'd have looked at them 2 years ago, that's not what Trackhouse was supposed to be.
Yeah, but they stumbled into the SVG thing. They pivoted.
Years ago, they had SVG. That's what I'm saying is like it to me, their plan was going to be, we are going to build up and we're going to be a force on ovals with the ringer and we're going to be a balanced, we're going to be a balanced team. That's what I'm saying. But would you have predicted 2 years ago that Ross Chastain would be hanging on by the skin of his teeth to maintain somewhere in the top 20 in the point standings over the course of the season?
I would be less concerned about that if we weren't similarly watching all the other Chevy teams struggle. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like if that wasn't something unique if that was something unique to them, like, hey, Kyle Larson is, or Hendrick has 4 wins at this point. Maybe the Spire guys are good to go, and then we're just watching Trackhouse bring shitters every single week, right?
Right.
But it really seems like they have to nail the setup, qualify up front, and then find ways to stay up front, like how Shane did at Nashville, for those things to work. I just think that's they're battling a lot, right? They're battling not having a technical alliance with a major Chevy team, not having major Chevy support. They're definitely going to be the first team to go to Dodge if they come back. And then you're looking at, them also, they, a smaller team, less money. They kind of have to pick and choose what races to go be competitive at. You know what I mean? There's a reason they show up to the super speedways or to road courses, and they have a little bit better equipment and cars and those rides.
Because they're a road course team.
Michigan, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised I think there's just like certain tracks that they know they're good at, right? Versus, hey man, we have a limited budget. We have a limited budget. Are we going to throw a bunch of money at Michigan? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if that's, in the cards. And then, of course,
intermediate ovals where Toyota's just going to cook everybody. Let's
talk about setup sharing, right? There's not going to be any setup information coming from the 88 team, right? They're winging it. This is a rookie. This is a new team. They don't have any data. So there's nothing to feed off of Connor for Michigan. Okay. I'm listening to Shane's radio today, and they're like, hey, what can you do? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I was loose, or I was super 10 out of 10 tight. Now I'm super loose. I don't know. And that's Shane. That's like Shane doesn't know Michigan. Like, that's fine. So I think there's a scenario where you're just like, all the teams aren't really connected at a track like this, because like you have 2 drivers that are just like, I don't have a feel for this.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm looking for. And then then you combine that with a lack of practice, and in 2 weeks, we go to tracks that they are ready to win. Where do you think their focus is? Michigan?
Right.
Or Coronado and Sonoma setup testing? Because if they steal 2 wins and Connor finishes top 5 in any of those races, Trackhouse is back on the menu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a road course team.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that front at all. I guess maybe maybe it's more of a surprise to me, or maybe it's the fact that, like, again, a couple of years ago, Justin Marks was walking around like just fully like swinging nuts on everybody about what like he was, what his team's going to be, what Ross Chastain's like. There was an arrogance that existed to Trackhouse that does not exist right now. When was the last time you saw him up there? Pitbull leaves the team.
Before Pitbull left.
I don't.
It's a thing. Yep. Like, I didn't want to bring it up, but it's a thing.
Yeah, Pitbull left.
But
lost a little bit of their swag.
That's just kind of what I'm saying.
I don't know.
A couple years ago, that was. I'm not saying that's like a major factor.
Again,
the attitude isn't there that it was.
Well, let's look at things within the lens of what success in NASCAR looks like, the dollars and how you get those things, right? Because I think they have accomplished what they would set out to accomplish, right? Last year, we're not all 3. Actually, I don't think Daniel had a win last year. So 2 playoff drivers.
Atlanta. Right? Didn't he win Atlanta? Like in that really, really close
That
race?
wasn't last year. I think that was 2
years
before.
ago.
Was that 2? Okay.
So last year they had 2 playoff drivers. And how many wins? 5? I think Ross had a couple. Here, I can look last year. They had 6 wins last year. 6 wins as a team last year. And 2 drivers in the playoffs. The year before that, 2 drivers, 2 wins, both made the playoffs. And then the year before those, 3 wins, 1 driver went to the final 4. And then the year before that, 3 wins. So since their kind of inauguration around 2022 in the next gen coming through, they've got 14 wins, multiple playoff appearances, a top 4 finals appearance, and they're on pace and schedule again to win, I think, over 4 races this year. Yes, it's within the road course scope, but at the end of the day, that is incredible for where CGO like Chip Ganassi was.
I'm not trashing that as a strategy.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm.
The whole road course thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's on the sketch. Like it's like the old you can only play the team that's on the schedule, right?
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
they can only drive the tracks that are there.
Right.
And if you've got a couple guys who are excellent at specific things, lean in.
The-
I have no problem with that.
I think the
But
I'm
reason,
bringing vibes to
you're
a
not
numbers
wrong,
game. Is
though.
all it is.
I
Like,
mean,
that's what I.
right.
I guess I'm.
they are
I'm doing
capable
here.
of being successful in other ways.
no, totally.
I agree with you
Yeah,
on
I don't
that.
think
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't contending your point, Corey. More so,
Right.
Jeff's points of concerns are like, well, what's going on with them? I think the issue is they've done so good that the fact
Yeah.
that there's a slump here is making us go.
Yeah.
But we should be asking the same question about Hendrick Motorsports. Why hasn't Kyle Larson won a race? SVG has won 6 races since Kyle Larson has won 1 race.
Yeah. Well,
You know
that's
what
not
I
a
mean?
bad-
So-
it's not a-
It's good points. Like I said,
Where
I'm
is
bringing
William
vibes
Byron?
to a numbers game.
what
so-
happened to Captain William Byron of
What?
the winning of the 4 races a year?
Where,
Where did he go?
what happened to Clean Air Man? Alex Bowman got passed by Cody Ware today. So, new paint scheme. Throw that away for the 48. That ain't working. Here's what I want to talk about.
24 as well.
Here's what I want to talk about. First of all, this driver finished P2 today. An incredible drive. The guy that I thought was going to win this race at one point, especially once 45 got wrecked out. If Denny Hamlin wins a championship this year, there's a possibility he steps away, leaving a charter available at Joe Gibbs Racing. Okay? Corey Haim's locked in at 2311. Brent Cruz just turned 18 years
Don't
old.
say it. Don't say it. Don't.
Who
Don't do
else
this.
but Eric Jones in that charter?
Don't do this.
What Toyota driver is in the pipeline? There isn't one. Okay?
Well, now that Haim has been
Haim is the heir apparent.
claimed
He's
and
gone.
settled,
Right.
then yes.
So right now there are only 2 Toyota drivers, 30 or younger, that have ties to Joe Gibbs Racing. John Hunter Nemechek, who used to drive for Joe Gibbs in the lower series,
Jones, who
and
drove in the
Eric
Cup
Jones, who drove in the Cup Series, and only got let go because Christopher Bell existed.
Series. Yep.
So if you're Joe Gibbs, you've got Bell, you've got Briscoe, you've got Gibbs, who are 3 championship contending drivers, and there's no young guys in the pipeline. Again, the obviously the opportunity of Kyle Busch coming back and driving the 18 is gone, unfortunately. Like, that would be a real cool feel-good story to end his career, in that charter for a year, buying time for like a Brent Cruz, where it's maybe somebody else, like a young guy's expiring contract to go. Bowman obviously is a Chevy guy that's probably on his way out of ride. Don't think he's done enough to earn a Joe Gibbs ride. You look at today, when you give Eric Jones a good car, he drives through the field. Legacy Motor, right now, if you had to choose between a Legacy Motor Club car or a Spire car, what would you choose? Spire, right?
Yeah.
If you had to
Yeah.
choose between a Legacy Motor Club car or a Trackhouse car,
Oh, I'm taking Legacy. Yeah.
the fact that we're pausing means that those are the same tier we're talking about. Would you rather have an FRM car? Would you rather be in the 38 or the 43 every week?
Well, I mean, the 38 was running okay until it got dumped. but
Exactly.
yes, okay.
No, he spun himself out. He got spun.
Right,
He
right. By
hit
dumped,
left
I
tire.
mean, he was dumped out of the race.
yes.
He's gone.
So my point is, we're talking about not the second tier of car, but the third tier of car. And I just watched the guy drive through the field multiple times, get sent back on pit road, and then he, in this run, on the final run of the race, the last 35 laps, got shuffled back to 9th, drove his way back up to 2nd. And, if you recall, almost won stage 2. He ran down Elliott with a Legacy Motor Club shitbox. You know what I mean? So for me, who else? There's no Ford guys. There's no Ford pipeline. You know what I mean? So I feel like Eric Jones is the heir apparent to the 11 charter.
That's crazy.
He's 30
And
years
it wouldn't
old.
be the 11. It would be the 18, wouldn't it?
I don't think you would bring back the 18, and I think the 11 should go to 23.
The 11 should go with Denny, and I'm sure they have that worked out already. That's too obvious.
Right, but if Denny's not going to drive it, then that's Haim in the 11.
Yes, I understand, but
Right.
the 11's going away from Joe Gibbs Racing, and they're not going to run the 18.
Right.
So
What gets me like with that too is that, at least like just as a JGR fan, is it's also a matter of where the stage of development is too, because you saw what Heim's been doing, and now he's made his way to 2311, right? But when you look at JGR like down the line, and you look over at NoRaps, like, and you're trying to kind of figure out where that's going to be, like, I feel like if Sawalich was
I was gonna say I would
doing
rather have
more than
Sawalich.
what we had figured, or if Taylor Gray has been
Yeah.
like, it's not knocking either of these guys. It's just a matter of if we were another year in development beyond, we might be more secure in being able to have this discussion, as opposed to saying that, well, Eric Jones would make a lot more sense.
Right.
And it's not even that as a knock on Eric Jones. It's what is the typical JGR pipeline? And the typical JGR pipeline is to bring your younger guys up. So,
sure, but if
I just don't see.
If I'm Joe Gibbs and I'm going, we're gonna pass on Eric Jones and we're gonna bring one of our pipeline guys up. I'm just gonna go grab Brett Cruz.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just say, what
agree.
the hell?
I agree
Bring
with
him up,
that,
let
yes.
him run.
If you're gonna bring Zawalich in, don't waste your time. Go grab Brett Cruz.
Yeah, might as well.
And bring him up. Brandon Jones ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to poach somebody from Ford or Chevy? I mean,
who's ready? Sam Mayer, not ready. Corey Day is a Hendrick lock.
Jesse Love.
Yeah.
Jesse Love is an interesting one, and I wouldn't be against that. However, the word on the street is he's going to Legacy's third charter. I could, again, there's not a lot of guys.
That only adds to this storyline, dude. Like,
right.
Like, that only adds to that, because, oh, look at that. Eric Jones leaves. Jesse Love has a slot. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they're getting a third charter. I think all of the RFK guys are cool with where they're at. I think Josh Berry's on the way of losing the 21 ride.
No, Josh Berry's not enough.
He's not getting promoted.
Cole Custer.
Cole Custer's on Daddy's team. Jesse Love is an interesting one, and I could see somebody going, Joe Gibbs going, but first of all, I don't know about Jesse and Ty. I don't know if they like each other per se. You're not going to get, you could make a grab at Connor Zilic. Be like, hey, dude, fuck Trackhouse. Come drive in a Toyota. Let's see what you got. Because that's good. If you're thinking, where do I go with this Toyota charter to grab 2 to 3 wins a season? I'll tell you what, Connor Zilic in a Toyota would cause some fucking problems. You know what I mean? But other than that, and Hocevar's not leaving Chevy, and he's already locked up for multiple years. So I just think all of that aligns with Eric Jones back to JGR, which is great. They didn't leave under bad blood. It was just a scenario of, we're looking at this prodigy.
They had to do it.
We're looking at this prodigy. They gave up on him a little bit early, but I think there's enough about all of it to let bygones be gone. And if you're Eric Jones and you've been driving a 43 shitbox for many years and you get the call to go to the best team in racing right now, Toyota is slapping the field.
Yeah. Right.
He's already in a Toyota.
You do that.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying is, like, you do that. Like, and again, we're also, like, we're looking at a situation where, like, JGR profits in that regard too, because you're getting the Eric Jones that is a couple years of experience since he had been gone and has seen the front, the back, and the middle of the pack in a way that he did not, because when he was running and he was in the 20 car, it was a different story. He was a different driver at that time.
I would accept him as Briscoe's teammate, but I would be.
I forgot about that completely. I was trying to figure out what you're
cautiously optimistic.
Again, the way I see it is there's a lot of drivers that, like Todd Gilliland is a guy that I would like to see have a good ride. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have, like, he hasn't had a scenario where he's been given a good car and he's had a good finish. Today was one of those performances very similar to that Darlington performance a couple years ago, which is just, and even Darlington last year when y'all were there with me. And it was just like Eric Jones, like, they're the fastest cars on the racetrack: Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones.
Yes.
And one of those guys is driving a C-tier car, right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think as much as I would like to see, obviously Jimmy and the team improve, I think that's the call that has to come, because there is pressure on Joe to keep the charter, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
You know what
They're
I mean?
not going to let the charter go.
Not going to let the charter go, right? Right. 2311, are they running Corey Heim open, or do they already have a third charter? They already have the third charter. It's the Riley Herbst charter. So they already have that. Riley Herbst is not going to the 11 car or the 11 ride. So I think all signs point to that reunion, which I think is a match made in heaven. And in that case, that's the strongest team. That helps solidify
But
one of the strongest teams in NASCAR.
this is all sort of the linchpin of all of this is Denny wins a championship and retires.
I think Denny's got 2 years max, this year and next year, anyways. Right?
Yes.
So,
but he's winning. Like, he's so good right now.
Oh,
Why do you walk away?
I think
Like, I get what you're saying if he wins a championship. If he wins a championship, walk off into the sunset, Peyton Manning style, okay, fine.
correct.
Right? I get that.
One more year,
But
I
if
don't think
he's
changes
not
it.
winning a championship and he's winning 4, 5, 6 races a year and having a good time and making all kinds of cash, why retire?
Sure. And if he wants to stay one more year, sure. I still think Eric Jones is going to be the guy in the ride. Eric Jones is only 31 at that point.
Yeah.
And
I hate this.
It just, yes, Brent Cruz could figure it out. I just don't think you want Ty Gibbs at 21, 22, and Brent Cruz at 19 trying to learn. You could, because you have Briscoe and Bell as your focal point for the team. Those are your top 2 cars, more of a developmental car.
And Nemechek is terrible.
Right.
He has shown nothing that I have found to be in any way impressive.
Here's another name. I don't think I don't think
the guy is currently driving a Toyota in any series.
Well,
honestly.
another name of a guy who I think he has a Joe Gibbs background. It would be almost a lateral move, but I don't necessarily think he's tied long term to the team he's on, is Bubba. Bubba's young.
Yeah.
Bubba has improved quite a bit. He has showed speed at a lot of types of tracks. He's got a Joe Gibbs background.
That's MJ's guy, though.
I get it. But also, Daniel Suarez was Justin Marks and Pitbull's guy at Trackhouse and had the funding. And everything.
Justin Marks,
right.
No, he was Pitbull's guy.
but well, I mean, Daniel's got backing.
The dominoes falling from that departure are.
I could see a scenario like if Denny goes, "Hey man, I want to move on to my ride, or move on to my team or something like that." But like again, I don't think there's that big of a difference if you're Bubba to move from the 23 to that charter,
the number is.
Right, the Joe Gibbs number. So again, we're back in the same boat. There's a Toyota ride available. There's no, and I don't see a scenario where Jesse Love goes to Legacy Motor Club to be the heir apparent to a Joe Gibbs ride.
So the only thing about that gets me is because I can understand the direction you're going with that, but let's remember that yes, Tyler Reddick is winning. The 45 is what's winning for 2311 right now.
Right.
The 23 is the flagship number and the flagship car for 2311. Bubba is already driving a flagship car. When Denny leaves JGR, the 11 is not the flagship car anymore. At that point, that's passed on. That's going to the 20, and then that's followed by the 19, and then whoever else is there behind that, kind of competes for what that is. So when you're thinking about that from Bubba, if that matters, you're now going from what is supposed to be the flagship car of this team.
Yeah.
It's in the name. It is, the symbol of Michael Jordan.
Right. Yeah. And another thing too is to predict the elevation. We're already seeing 2311 kind of rise to dominance. I'm not saying we're seeing Gibbs fall off at all, but Coach is only getting older. And we've seen it in the past. So again, there's not a whole lot of other guys that I think. Noah Gragson hasn't exactly impressed in the Ford to move up.
No. Having him on Briscoe's team is a very bad idea. Those two are.
Busher is an interesting one.
Too good of buddies.
In terms of elite talent or really, really good talent that I think is kind of being held back by Carr a little bit, but I don't know if Chris Busher leaves Ford. I think he's again, flagship car at RFK. I know the 6 is but come on, let's be real here. The 17 is the top dog at a team, that team there. And in fact, they've got another ride to fill here soon, trying to, obviously get.
What about Raja?
I don't think Raja's ready.
I don't think he is either.
Again,
I think he's ready, and I think
the main guy who's not currently in a Toyota in any series that I'd be targeting if I was JGR would be Jesse Love, and that's gonna be a tough sell.
Yeah, he's the hot rod. But again, if you are, Jesse Love is 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, but
21. Okay, he's a little bit older. I was about to say, I was kind of in that same reign of like, well, why not just go get Brent Cruz? You know what I mean? In a year, Brent Cruz is going to be 19. You want a 22-year-old or a 19-year-old that's in-house? Like I said, John Hunter could be a guy that would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think he's underperformed. But just to be clear here, John Hunter has won a lot of races under the JGR banner in Xfinity or no wraps. So a lot on that topic, I know. But that was something I was so impressed today with Eric's drive through the field. Do you feel like Daniel, who also had a really, really good day and has been really fast since Texas, do you think that Daniel is kind of in a scenario where he's kind of auditioning, or do you think if he gets the opportunity to say
why
Inspire,
would he leave?
I mean,
Dude, he's doing like,
again,
I'm the guys who are like successful where they're at. Why shake it up? He's doing better
Sure.
than he's ever done.
sure.
Like,
I'm just spitballing because right now the amount of guys that are Cup drivers right now that are about to be free agents.
I have a stupid question.
What's up?
What about guys who aren't even in NASCAR? What about JGR bringing in an SVG style road course ringer?
Oh man,
Who would that
there's
be?
a lot of people to be. I mean,
Give me Joseph Newgarden in a Toyota car.
Scotty
Like,
McGoffin,
give me something.
in a Toyota.
Yeah, well,
Scotty Mac.
I mean, Scotty Mac has been that one's interesting, but like, yeah, I want somebody that.
I mean, Scotty was supposed to drive NASCAR, right? He was supposed to come over and drive NASCAR. He was the one that had battled SVG and beaten SVG quite a few times in V8 Supercar. But I think he's at home. I don't, you're the IndyCar guy. Is Scotty out there competing for championships and wins, or is he
nobody's competing with Alex Palou and wins right now? So that's as far as that's considered. But that could be the other point if you want to see someone that's going to make a jump.
I don't think there's any F1 or WTEC guys that are, or not WTEC, WEC guys.
I'll tell you after Le Mans next week. Who's running.
Jordan Taylor is a road course coach for Hendrick, who also drives in the GT3s. He's on the Chevrolet team. He's made a couple appearances. He actually drove for the 9 car at COTA when Elliott was hurt. But again, I don't think he's got aspirations to be a full-time Cup driver, nor do I think he would step away from Hendrick. Too old. Again, that's one of those we would field a car under the 2311 banner like they did with Kamui, than a scenario where a Joe Gibbs ride is a premier ride. Yeah. That charter is effectively the 5 car opening up. I think Joe knows better than to quote unquote disrespect the sport by not giving it to somebody who has either worked their way of Cup, a young prospect, or a veteran that's opening up. You know what I mean? And right now, who's the veteran that's opening up? Eric Jones.
Yeah.
And
Eric Jones is the most logical common denominator. Like, that's the one that makes the most sense to me.
A 31-year-old with a history of the
long-running thing.
Yeah,
like, your feelings on Eric Jones, Finn's love affair with Todd Gilliland, and y'all's arguments about Penske, those are the long-running
they're bad
lore of this pod. Like, those are the things that have extended.
You're gonna hear nothing but I have no arguments to be
how old is
for Penske.
How old is Keelan Harvick?
Indefensibly bad.
Can we get Keelan Harvick to the JGR? He's 14. Keelan Harvick.
Yeah, can we get Brexton? Come on, buddy. Like, get a couple more.
Keelan Harvick is 13, so Denny just needs to buy us 5 more years. Brent Cruz needs to crash out. So, there's that, and then I was actually talking about what to do with there's this 833 charter that needs to be filled, and if Jesse's not the RCR guy, and for what it's worth, I've heard the issue that he's not driving that car is because of sponsorships, but he's 21, so there shouldn't be any issues with alcohol sponsorships or weed sponsorships. So that's unless that's a personal thing, which I can't imagine Jesse Love would say, no, I don't want to drive in a Cup car right now because of a personal thing, right? So let's assume Jesse Love's on his way out. What's the future of RCR? And, y'all have heard my dream scenario, which is Richard retires, Dale takes over, buys in. So Dale Jr. goes Cup racing. You see a Hendrick alliance there in some capacity. Then you run the Dale Jr. 8, the Dale Senior 3, Hell, maybe reach out to JGR with the third charter and then go ask for the 18 and then put Brexton in that.
I mean, they already said they would save the 8 for Brexton, like,
right.
You know.
But if they had the 18, you run it in the 18, like the font, because right now he drives the 18 in the current font for RCR. So then you have that, and then you also get the legacy of the Earnhardt numbers being run in their original fonts. That would go hard, but that's like a dream scenario I was talking about today.
That's a little pie in the sky.
That would
the
be...
one that gets me with that is in Bush, and the Bush scenario complicates it. I mean, I've always been one to say, like, God damn it, I want the 18 back on the track. I've wanted it, for years. I have said it and made my position on that clear on this pod for a very long time. That Joe Gibbs Racing and the 18 are cookies and milk. It's peas and carrots. It's like that is the Joe Gibbs Racing number, like, and it not being on track is really weird. But obviously the situation with Kyle passing makes that more complicated because it adds a lot of weight.
I mean, but how much, dude? Number. Because we got guys out here running a 3.
Well, the only one that's allowed to run the 3 is Austin.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, because there's
family and he's other ties that are coming into play with that.
That's been the rule from Richard, is that he owned the 3 and he felt it should stay within the family. That was super highly controversial anyways. Then you have the 43 and the 48, but those guys are still alive. So it's not we don't exactly retire numbers in NASCAR per se.
I'm not even talking about that. I mean, like, okay, so the guy passed. It was very, very sad, right? I understand. Like, I get that, right? Kyle Busch didn't die racing. By the way, this is my first podcast since he died. That was a shitty day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like, maybe I'm wrong, right? But like, if you put the right guy in it and put the right resources behind it, isn't it just as respectful to run the car?
Sure, but that's the thing, is it's got to be the right guy. It's got to be the right resources.
For what it's worth, I would not be upset if they ran the 18.
Yes.
I would be upset if Ty Gibbs ran the 18, but anybody else, I'm cool with. Like, for what it's worth, I don't care, right? If his way of honoring the car, like, I almost think it would be more honoring the car, is to be like, hey, we're gonna run it, and we're always gonna keep this style of number on it. Like, you know, Kyle was great for us. We want to remember it. I don't care if there's a shitter in the car. I really don't. You know what I mean?
There won't be.
There's not gonna be. It's a premier cover. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now,
no, and like, it's also, M&M's isn't coming back as far as that being the sponsor, so it won't. To me, you run that 18, you bring it back to the Green Interstate. Like, you try and lock in and have that if you can get it, and go to the original. But
I mean, who are Eric Jones's main sponsors? Dollar Tree.
Yeah, Dollar Tree.
The Air Force.
I mean, he wouldn't have been running the same STP that, like, Bubba was running when he was in it. And
hey, Doritos 18 would go hard.
They can come up with some cool stuff. Yeah. Keeps in the same snack, you gotta, snack-averse.
And if to bring this all full circle, right? If the 11's not out there, and you're JGR, and you have the 19, the 20, and the 54, and you got the 18 on a shelf, right? And you're going, no, we're not going to do that out of respect. We're going to go out here and we're going to run the 44, or like, what random ass number are they going to come up with, right? I'm sitting here going through them in my head, like, is it going to be like some corny thing, like classic Redskins numbers? Like, are they going to put an 81 car out there? Like,
you match the that's the other thing, is you're matching your other series numbers when you do that too, because the no wraps numbers for JGR are 18, 20, 18, 19, 20,
you know
54.
What? Now that you say that, and I'm watching Williams and Wallace drive around that same exact 18, I don't care now.
Yes.
Put somebody out there. I don't. It's cool. Bring the number back. It is. It predates Kyle, right? It was Bobby.
Yes.
It was, so I'm okay with it. I'm completely on board.
And run the number. Like, those two things are not.
Yeah, if it was like, we're not running the 18 on the NASCAR track,
there is no other answer.
You would have Wallace change the car totally.
The correct move is to give Denny the 11
and give Eric Jones the 18.
19, 20, 54.
Give Eric Jones the 18.
I mean, whatever.
My favorite about this, how about this? Give Ryan Blaney the 18, and then he can win 9 championships in a row. Because you throw Ryan Blaney in that car, You're winning championships.
Isn't it amazing how good Blaney is all of a sudden?
Blaney's solid. He's definitely up there.
We have carried this discussion, and now you're starting to bring a Blaney discussion.
Hey, well, at least I said Blaney would win championships in that
and I will walk away and come back in 20 minutes after you guys are done arguing about this. As I had been tempted to.
I want to say this.
2026, Penske is terrible.
There you go. Hey, listen, Ryan Blaney's good. Penske's terrible, and I could beat Ryan Blaney up. That fucker's 145 pounds, so I'm good with talking about shit.
Finn has remembered the result of every race this year, so that's the thing that will keep that in mind.
Weird-looking dude.
If we're gonna for the sake of keeping things moving forward, because Indy's going green in 20 minutes, so I want to.
No, I think we
had our league race last week, and we ran Talladega. Finn, you were not there for the fun.
I did get to watch this from Corey's POV.
Okay,
and I think what I want to say about this is I think we're learning and we're growing.
What's the outsider perspective? Because I've got takes on that.
It's the hardest part about plate racing on these is this disappearing act ghost cars, right? Even if certain cars were going to be erratic, or maybe they weren't erratic or whatever, the fact that they disappear causes so many issues. Because when Corey at the end of the race had APW in front of him, TBD got a little disappearing, and Corey I saw visually was lifting and doing exactly what we have said, which is if the car disappears, still pretend it's there, right? So I'm watching Corey lift out, and that's cool. I'm also watching a car behind him that is ghosted driving through Corey. Like, he's inside of Corey. And
that was the 48.
and I don't want to give any names, but my point is it's difficult. Okay. That is those are the one tracks where it's very difficult because we're all smashed together. I didn't get a chance to watch. I got to watch the last 11 laps. Really solid there. You Toyota boys just didn't get connected, and that's part of what makes those tracks difficult to win at, right? Is the RPM boys were four of them that were locked in. They said we're staying until the last lap, then we can break apart. And it was very difficult for you and Hellseeker, who is on a controller, and that's difficult to drive, to kind of get matched up. But, I'm excited. Yeah. I think you look at what the product NASCAR gave out today with their cautions.
No, dude, I honest to God, I was doing bits, but it's like, I don't feel bad. I really don't. No. These guys are making millions of dollars, and they're out there shit canning their cars.
Right. I mean,
what are we doing?
Again,
Connor Zilic cannot drive in a straight line.
I have been very hard on the league lately, obviously, with the ripping them out of the Charlotte lobby, throwing us in Texas. But I think we've seen improvement, and I think it's important to remember, if I'm setting the bar up here and I'm being hard on you guys, but we only get to here, that's not a failure of a day, right? We're improving, we're learning. Everybody in the league has been on top of things and trying to be accountable. And I'm excited because we got the All-Star race coming up.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Phoenix, there are 15 All-Star cars. 2 of them are not going to make it. I'm traveling and JTB Blazer has work. So that means the top 5 finishers in the Open, it was going to be the top 3, now it's going to be the top 5 finishers in the Open are going to move on to the All-Star race. So, big weekend.
I have done 0 practice laps.
Get in there, practice some Phoenix. You got to, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you've got about 20 minutes to practice.
Yeah.
But
well, that is the upside of doing this, is I actually get to put some laps down before the race, which is always I get no warm-up time.
Right.
Because we go from the podcast straight into the race. It's right. I just want to put my hands on the wheel, but I still got my notebook from the last time we did it. But probably some lap time.
But the All-Star race very much is going to be the practice because we've got Phoenix the next week. It's the beginning of the in-season tournament, and Corey, you're going down.
I saw
me against Corey. Jeff, who's your matchup for the in-season tournament? Did you?
I haven't checked the bracket yet. I got to take a look at that.
Let me see. I'm looking at it right now. You are Bobby Lee Swagger, a rookie.
Okay.
So, but he's top 5 in points. That's a tough matchup.
That guy's
mega congratulations, fast. Bobby. Just offer my congratulations.
You knocked off somebody last year.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I think that was a different style of track versus a Phoenix, which is going to be very difficult to, get lucky.
It's going to be a tough start. But I mean, I'll tell you this, last week, I had more fun last week than I have had, because I mean, joking aside, like I'm a back marker. It is what it is, and that's fine. We can laugh about that all we want. I have make
And we
plenty
do.
of jokes on that. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't bother me. I've earned that like 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't been able to. I've tried to get a little faster this year. I'm a little faster than I was last year. It's all I can really ask for. You know, whenever I practice, I'll find it. This past week though was the most fun that I have had racing in this league in a very long time. Like it has been a long time since I was like as excited as I was during a race, despite the way things happened. Because I got dumped in lap 31 because I got collected into a big cluster. What happened after a spin, and just unfortunately, like it was either like veer left or veer right, and I just my move ended up being in the wrong spot. But I mean,
Yeah.
hell, Corey, there was a point. What was that? It was stage 2 or stage 1 or 2. Like you and I were just linked, rocking for like
Dude,
the
this is
entirety
why
of the
I
stage.
love plate racing.
Yeah,
Like
that's it. Like,
when I
dude,
first
tell
started
me.
iRacing,
Yeah,
the Daytona and Talladega were my absolute favorite because it's just concentration. It's not about
yeah.
finding the perfect line. It's not about getting back in the throttle as quickly as you can. It's about how locked in can you be. And I am very good at that, which is like just focus, calm, precision. Like Finn, you said yourself, like I'm lifting out. I understand how the like runs work. It's like all of that is so much easier than like, hey, let's go to Dover and I'm gonna try to keep up with dense fog. Like
Right.
it's not possible, dude. Like I'm not gonna win. But at least on a plate race, I have a chance of like being successful, you know.
Well, and sentimentally, that part was fun because that
Mhm.
was like,
Right.
dude, we've been on a team since we started, right?
Yes.
Everybody knows we've been friends since we were kids. Like, how cool was that you and I were able to
Yeah.
link up and just rock like that? We've been guarantee. I know it's been on my mind. I'm sure it's been on your mind at some point when we started this league. At some point, we were going to shake and bake. You know what I mean? Like, man, we had the opportunity to actually shake and bake last week, and I had a lot of fun with that shit.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do that again.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that we're gonna have Daytona and Talladega on the schedule next year, right? So I think
No cautions.
I think Atlanta probably not, but
Yeah.
I think the league is proving to me. So that's
I like the no cautions thing for the super speedways.
yeah, I think we're gonna go no cautions, but stage caution on super speedways, and probably inverse that on the other tracks where fuel. There's no longer this like, oh, the stage is one lap longer, so people aren't actually winning a stage; they're saving on fuel or whatever.
Right.
The idea is let's get green flag racing because we start stage one's very very good. Let's just keep it rolling, right? Let's not stop it with a stage break and then stack them up. So that's what we're gonna test going forward at Phoenix, which will be we'll have stage laps where you will get stage points, but we're probably not going to throw any cautions, and I want to see how that does to the product, because if we go green the whole time, that would be a fantastic scenario, right? Bunch of green flag stops. I'm sure a caution will occur naturally and we'll live with the ramifications for that, but at least it's not like, okay, caution occurred on lap 20 but we don't have another one coming on lap 50. You know what I mean? We're rocking with what happens on lap 20, call it a day. So
yeah, makes sense. Other than that, the league's I mean, I've been a little absentee lately, but
Have you been busy? Did you?
Bro.
Corey, stuff been
I'm
happening
like,
in your life, or
I feel like a
you've been
different
having...
person.
Well, there's a mini you now, so
yes. For those of you that don't know, I have a little girl nugget now.
Yeah, Corey's got a bean.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But my energy and time for frivolity and jocularity has been less than normal. So my paying attention to league stuff and podcast stuff the last 2.5 weeks has been probably not up to my normal standard, but hopefully that's coming back around once she figures out how to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got some on that. But I mean, either way, the league it's heating up, and it's going to be fun. And then on that note, I think this is a good spot that I think it's good for us to wrap, because we got some good stuff to look forward to for anybody that is watching this now. In the future, you've got a few minutes before you need to get into the lobby and get ready to get started, because it's about time for our all-star race. So yeah, like I said, it's going to wrap things up for us this week. Please make sure you check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, and your other favorite audio platforms under the name Intentional Rec. Check out our website, intrecpod.com. Join our Discord server for IntRecPod, and find us, follow us, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Other than that, have a great all-star race. Everybody have an awesome weekend, and we'll catch y'all next week.
See you.